Hi YouTubers, I'm in the camper van. It's not ideal conditions to do reviews or anything like that. This is part 3 of our essential items in our camper van motorhome. I'm going to talk about water to start with, and this time of year when we use a van we drain all the water off because very simply it freezes and it's a nightmare to get at the tank, and the tank is actually buried in the bottom of this cupboard in there, and it lasts for about 2 days. And when we drained it down we realised that the pipe was full of mould. So one of the modifications I done was to change the water pipe. It is a food safe sort of water pipe, or drinking water pipe, which was blue and you couldn't see through it, and I've actually changed it now in the van to a see-through pipe. I know we can see it in there, this one here. It's a see-through plastic pipe, water, food grade, and if you get any mould in it, you see, I'll be able to see it. And what I had to do on the other one, I tried putting a pipe cleaner through it, and sterilising tablets and all sorts, but there was still mould in the pipe, plastic pipe. So I replaced it totally with a see-through type one. So that's it there. I don't know whether you can just about see it just there. So that's one thing I've done. But I'm going to really talk about water tanks and things like that. So we drain it down in the winter. That way we haven't got a problem with the pump freezing. And what we tend to do is, if we're just out for the day, we fill these water containers up like this one and that one over there. They sit in where the cup holders go, and we keep them in the house and we bring them in the van, and there's enough water in here for the day to cook and have drinks just with that container and that container. For longer periods we use this plastic container here, and it's for we use this for camping and one thing or another, and I've fitted a tap on the top. The original plastic one was rubbish and I had this tap, so I fitted that on the top of it. But yeah, so it's a water container, so what? Well, something we've discovered, when you're on a campsite and you want to go out for the day, you need to leave something on your pitch to reserve it, to make sure nobody else uses it or pinches it while you're out for the day. And this is what we leave behind. We leave the drinking water container and the wastewater on the pitch. And what we also do, we've actually put our registration number on it, so that people know that that's who we are and that's our pitch, just in case there's a query. Because when you go on these campsites they want your registration number so they can match this to the pitch. On the van as well we've got a short length of this hose that came with the van for putting on taps. To be honest, we've never used it, but we've kept it in the van just in case. Now for those of you who are observant who'll say, well hang on a minute, you're not using the main tank, you're not using the pump, how do you get the water to the sink? Well, we've actually purchased, quite a long while ago, an electric pump that will run from its own batteries, and it's a USB rechargeable water pump. And I'll just get it out of its bag so you can see it. Oh, it's done up with a knot. Let me undo the knot on the bag and I'll get it out. Now this is the electric pump, rechargeable, battery powered. I don't know how good the batteries are in it, or the charge. Could do with the charge. And this can go directly onto the plastic container like that, with the plastic pipe inside, so that will pump it up from that container. Or when I've got this up and the sink's open like that, I've put a bracket on it like that, so it will hook on there. And then we run a length of this tube from the pump underneath. It attaches underneath, it pushes on the bottom, pushes on the bottom like that, and we can run this into the water container like that, or I can put it in where the vent is, and we can have the water container in the van, or with the window open I can drop the pipe out the window into the container, sit on the side of the van, and it's as simple as that. Cheapo plastic water container, a water pump, USB rechargeable. They cost about £16 now, they used to be about £9. Very, very simple, very easy to use, and it's above the sink, so we're not using the tank in the van, we're not using the pump in the van, we're using this. And as I say, because it's all in the van, it's not going to freeze. You know, we can keep it warm, and we can have the container in the van or out the van. It's simple as that. And that's how we manage with our water. So the essential thing is really a carryable water container, a rechargeable electric pump, and that's it. Weather's not ideal for doing this series of videos to do with essential items for our campervan, motorhome, or even camping, and this is part of part 3, and so I'm going to attempt to do this part in the garage. And I've just covered off the water tanks and things like that, so I'm going to cover off now. I talked about a barbecue. Now you can get barbecues and they can be absolutely huge. This is my barbecue. It's a Yellowstone one, and it's suitable for hiking and camping, although it's a reasonable weight. So I'm just going to unpack it and show you what it looks like. It comes in this little bag though, and it's zipped, and it gets used a lot because we actually use it at home as well. As I say, we can park the camper van in front of our bungalow, so now if I need to get this out the van, I can just nip out the front and get it. So let me just get it out the bag. So this is what it looks like outside the bag, and I also keep one of these fire lighting things as well, and it comes together quite easy and comes apart as well. And you open up that section like that, and then the second section, also concertinas, like that, drops in like that. Bottom plate to catch some of the ashes. Centre to grill. You can see it's coming together, and then finally this bit goes in here, and that's it. It's as simple as that. And you can put your coals in and one thing or another. Now you can actually use it as a fire pit as well. Now if you're going to use it for a fire pit, you need something to burn, and I'm going to show you another useful bit of kit that we carry as well. Now an ideal thing to carry in the van would be a bow saw, and here's mine when I used to be a woodland volunteer, but you can see the size of it. You can't really carry that, so what I've got is a fold up one, and I'll open that up and I'll show you what that looks like. Now this is a fold up bow saw for sawing wood for your fire pit, and the ends come unscrewed. See if I can do it. I'm doing it single-handed. Okay, so that's it taken apart, and I'll assemble it so you can see what it looks like assembled. So that's part of it assembled. The case it goes into, and then I'll put the rod and the blade in next. And that's it assembled. Hey, fold up bow saw. So when you want to use a fire pit and you come across some old branches and things like that, you need to cut them up. That's it, and that takes up very little space. It is super lightweight, and because it folds all into itself, this blade is really sharp, and it's very, very practical. And I can't saw any wood up. I think you get to saw wood up. This is ideal with this fold up barbecue, so you can have it as a fire pit. And that's another thing ideal for the van. This is a Yellowstone stove or fire pit or barbecue. I can't remember what make this is. It was quite a job to find it on the internet, but it works extremely well. And that's the fold up bow saw back together. And to dismantle this, it's very simple. Fold that in half, remove that, concertina that in, fold that down, fold this in, concertina that in, and there's the bag. Simple.